Hi Cancer, this is your love and relationship reading for the month of September. I have already pre-shuffled and laid out the cards, so we're just going to get straight into the reading. Now, the first card we have, the energy around, is the Page of Swords. Now, the swords are air. They are all to do with our mind and our thoughts, our thinking, using logic instead of emotion. The swords, the air, I should say, represents Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. So it's possible you may be dealing with one of those signs, but it does not have to mean that. Now, when the Page of Swords is reversed, it's often about somebody making promises that they know they cannot keep. And to be honest with you, lots of us on a daily basis say, oh, don't worry, I'll do that or I'll do this. But when it comes down to it, we can't actually do it. Because it's all about acting hastily. It's about not thinking things through properly. And saying you're going to do something if you know you can't do it. Or reaching decisions without having all the answers. It can as well be where somebody is constantly questioning, okay? Because somebody may be looking for answers to something or guidance in regards to something. So they could kind of feel that they are constantly asking questions to gain a better understanding about a situation. Now, this could be you, this could be somebody in your life, because the energies of the cards can go either way. It doesn't always have to be you, it can be somebody else around you. It can talk of conflict and arguments, and sometimes it can talk about somebody, I don't want to say pretending to love, but along those lines, really, that somebody's saying they love somebody when maybe they really don't, or maybe they're just unsure. But as I said, just be careful if this is you, that you're not promising more than you know you can actually carry through. The next card we have is the Two of Wands. Now, the wands are a fire energy, and they are to do more with our actions and acting quickly. But it's the fire energy, is more to do with our actions. Now, they represent Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This has fallen within your position of helping and hindering you, or maybe, what's crossing you. Now, the Two of Wands, it can often be seen as there's a decision to be made. And it's either sticking with what you already know or going off to explore something new. It's kind of like you may have the ball rolling, okay? You may have this plan or this idea or this need, but you haven't quite put it into action, or you're deciding whether to put it into action. Now, sometimes with this card as well, I sometimes see this card as somebody, because it's like he's got the whole world in his hands, but he's still looking out to sea. And sometimes I think of this card, and this is my kind of interpretation of it, as though you've got everything you need in your hands, so to speak. You've got everything you need, but there's still something else that you want There's something is lacking. And I sometimes think of this card as a balancing card. Balancing between what you need and what you actually want. Because in life we all need things, but our needs and wants are very different. The next card we have, this is the Eight of Cups. It is reversed. Cups represent water. They are all to do with our feelings and our emotions. They represent Scorpio, Pisces and Cancer. Now, this has fallen within the foundations, okay, of this situation. When the Eight of Cups is reversed, it can signify about knowing when to walk away. It can be very much about problems that have not been resolved, okay? It's and it can be like a lack of closure. If somebody was thinking of walking away, they're hesitant as to whether to walk away or not, because they don't feel they've got the closure or enough closure on this to be able to make the decision one way or another. It's very much a card of, should I stay or should I go? And often, it's literally about being in two minds, about not dealing with issues and maybe choosing to walk away from the issue rather than deal with it. You know, it can indicate that as well. But it's very much about wanting to explore new horizons, okay? But being unsure about whether to explore the new horizon or stay within the present and with what you've got. And I think that's, you know, very much what we've seen already with the other cards, you know, with the two of wands about the balancing the needs and the wants. You know, it's like you may feel that you've got everything, but there's still other things you want. So it seems to me that somebody is indecisive within a relationship at the moment. If it's not you, then it's the other person. But somebody is trying to work out whether basically they want to stay or whether they want to go. And, you know, somebody's struggling a bit with a decision here, I think. The next card we have is the Hermit. It is a major arcana. I personally like the Hermit card. Now, this has fallen within your near past. When I say near past, it could be yesterday. Doesn't have to be years ago. But it's something that is still affecting now, okay? Now, the Hermit card is about trying to gain perspective on things and trying to gain clarity. You can see he's got his lamp, so he can see his path very clearly, but he's choosing to look down rather than ahead. And this card is saying very much about needing to go within yourself now to find the answers. It's kind of like an enforced isolation, almost like the need to cut yourself off from others around you because you need to make a decision, or you need to gain more knowledge about yourself and what you want and what you don't want. So this card is, and the thing is, the answers that you're looking for, you know that you're not going to be able to find those answers from those around you. These answers can only come within inside yourself. And this card, signifies taking this time to isolate yourself enough to go inside to work out what it is you actually really want. Now, straight after that major arcana, we have another one, which is the Justice card, and it is reversed. Now, the thing with the major arcanas as well, with the minor arcanas, they're obviously trying to get a message across to you, but the major arcanas, the emphasis with that message is much more heightened and stronger, okay? Now, this has fallen with kind of the here and now kind of situation within this reading. It can talk, the Justice card can talk of somebody who is not taking responsibility for their own actions. That there's a need to accept a current situation for what it is. And that either you or the other person needs to stop judging themselves. But also, if they're not judging themselves, then maybe they are judging somebody else. And this card, it's like, when it's reversed, it can be likened to like the blame card. That somebody is either blaming themselves or putting all the blame onto somebody else. It's about taking a long, hard look at yourself, or the other person needs to do this. To take a long, hard look at yourself or their self, and to really think about how they have acted and behaved. Have they or have you acted in a fair and just way? Have you or them accepted responsibility for things you have done or not done within this relationship? If it is in regards to moving on and making a decision whether to stay or go, then you need to accept responsibilities for how things have maybe not worked out and for how things have gone wrong. But it also can be about, if you're weighing up whether you should stay or go, then it's a case of starting to accept the situation or the relationship for what it is. And not using the blame card. It's about acceptance, but also acting in a fair and just way. Now here we have another major arcana. It is the Emperor. It is reversed. And this has fallen within your near future. Now, I have to be honest with you. With the Emperor card, I do prefer to see it upright rather than reversed. When the Emperor's reversed, it's somebody not being very nice, okay? Now, the Emperor card itself is the card that represents Aries. But as I said, with all the other cards, it doesn't mean you're dealing with an Aries. But when it's reversed, it's like all the negative side of this Emperor is being shown. Somebody is acting in a very domineering way. Somebody's maybe a bit of a control freak or acting in a controlling way at the moment. Somebody could be quite rigid within their thinking. You know, then maybe they're not necessarily thinking outside the box on certain things. It's very much their way or the highway type thing. In a relationship, the Emperor can sometimes suggest somebody who is kind of here one day and gone the next. He kind of can enter your life and be around for a while and then go. And then maybe come back again and then maybe go again. Either way, if it's not you behaving in this way, then it's somebody around you. Because it's somebody who's not behaving very nicely. And this card has fallen, I don't know if I mentioned already, within the position of your near future. And if this is you, then it is basically saying, you know, you need to think about, you know, that type of saying where somebody will say to you, you know, who do you think you are? How dare you behave in that way? And it's very much like that. If it's not you, it's somebody else. Now, the next card we have is the Judgment card. It is upright. It is another major arcana. You have so far got 4 major arcanas, one after the other, which, to be honest with you, I don't see very often in my readings, if I'm truthful. Not for them to flow one after the other like these have today. Now, the Judgment card has fallen in the position of you. Okay, now the Judgment card itself is about coming to conclusions. It can be a card about giving second chances. It's a card about trying to find evidence and trying to find the answers so the judgment can be made. It can as well say that it can be one of those cards to suggest that you could have an awakening. You could kind of have this realization of knowing that you can actually live your life in a different way. That things don't have to be as they are now. It can be a card about reflection. A card about releasing guilt. If you feel guilty about something that you've done, it's kind of releasing that guilt. It's a card of, there could be some deep wounds, there could be some hurts. As I said, there could be a lot of guilt about something. And it's about just releasing all of that. Learning from any mistakes that you've made. And kind of coming to terms with those mistakes and allowing yourself to heal from that. And then to release any guilty feelings that you may have. It can as well sometimes say that you feel that you're kind of stagnating, possibly within a relationship at the moment. And you desperately need this change. Or you desperately need the whole workings of this relationship to change. Because maybe it does feel quite mundane. What it can also say is that you could be fearing making a decision about this relationship. Because again, you don't know whether to blow the final whistle on this relationship and make the final judgment to say, right, that's it, it's over. or whether to give this second chance and stay within the relationship. I see you very much at the moment being at a bit of a crossroads. The next card we have is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Pentacles represent Earth. They are to do with our finances, our material side of life, our work. It's a very grounded energy, the Pentacles, at a slow and steady pace. They represent Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, this has fallen within your environment, your friends and family, or possibly how others see you. Now, the general explanation of the Ten of Pentacles, you know, it's about, regarding finances, it's a very good card, okay? It's like somebody within the family or within a family network, somebody has gained a lot of money, or, you know, things are prospering, and there's enough money for all the generations in the family to be able to feel comfortable and share. Now, that's in terms of a financial aspect with this card. But when we're talking relationships, this card again is about making a decision. You or somebody else deciding on something. It can say not to give up on something. It can be about taking a leap of faith, and sometimes that's hard to do. It can be about taking the opportunity when it arises, if that makes sense. It's one of those cards of don't miss the boat. If the opportunity's there, then grab it, because the opportunity may not come around again. And I don't know if that fits in with anybody's situation at the moment. But if it's not about an opportunity and that kind of, don't miss the boat kind of scenario, then it is definitely about somebody needing to make a decision, needing to make up their mind. And the decision may require them to take this leap of faith. And although taking a leap of faith can be quite scary sometimes, I think that's why it's saying about this, don't miss the opportunity, and don't miss the boat. Because when you take a leap of faith, that's what it's all in connection with. Somebody's got to make a decision regarding something, no doubt about it. They're obviously unsure, but it's a card about making a decision, not giving up, taking a leap of faith if something is offered. Now, this is either you or somebody in your environment. The next card we have is the Queen of Swords. It is reversed. I've already explained, about the swords. Now, this has fallen within your hopes and fears or you need to know position. Now, just because it's the Queen, it doesn't mean that it has to be a person, and it doesn't mean it has to be a female, okay? None of the cards are gender specific. But more often than not, the people cards, as I like to call them, can be talking about a person. Now, when she's reversed, it can show that somebody is being manipulative, or if it's not somebody, then it's you. But somebody is being manipulative. Somebody is extremely sarcastic with their words or their thoughts. It's somebody that when they have something to say, they're going to damn well say it. And please or offend, whether you want to hear it or not, it's going to be said. And it can be extremely cutting and maybe quite hurtful. Also, it can be about trying to find wisdom out of some sort of chaos. Again, it's about trying to use your judgment, okay? We've had the Judgment card already on the table. Finding wisdom out of chaos, using different tactics. Don't be manipulative, don't be sarcastic, don't be cutting and hurtful with your words. Try and gain some clarity. Try and be the one that calms the chaos rather than creates the chaos. It's very much about using different tactics to be able to deal with the situation at the moment, and using your judgment wisely. Now, the final card we have is the Lovers card, and it is reversed. It is a major arcana. I have to be honest with you, in all the readings I've done, I think I've only ever seen the Lovers card. In fact, I don't think I've ever had the Lovers card come up in any of my readings that I've ever done. I think this is actually the first time that I've had it. Anyway. When this card is upright, it's about love, growth, choice and maturity, okay? It's about making a commitment to a crucial decision. When it's reversed, it's showing relationship difficulties. It's showing that there could be weaknesses and temptation. It can talk about as well, if somebody is feeling tempted, doesn't have to be tempted by a third person. It can be tempted in terms of wanting to leave the relationship. They may feel at the moment that by leaving the relationship is the easier option, rather than hanging around and trying to work things out, rather than dealing with any issues. The easier option could feel very much like throwing the towel and walk away. But what this card is saying is sometimes the easy option is not the best option. You know that kind of saying when, you know, somebody says the grass isn't always greener on the other side. That's very much what this card is about. It's that, you know, yes, we've seen already that either you or the other person has a decision to make, I think, on this relationship. Quite simply, whether to stay or whether to go. But whether it's you or the other person, you know, either of you need to think long and hard about this decision. Don't maybe throw in the towel so quickly. Maybe the relationship has hit a few roadblocks, okay? And every relationship does. No relationship is perfect. Lots of people argue within their relationships, and obviously lots of people have issues. And if anyone tells you that they don't have that and their relationship's absolutely perfect, well then obviously they're lying. But the thing is, it's about how you deal with those situations when they arise in a relationship. Do you behave like the emperor that we've seen there, where you walk in, walk out, walk in, walk out. When the going gets tough, you go. And then you decide maybe to come back when things are better again. You know, this card is asking for either you or the other person to don't be so quick to take the easy option. Because what you may think is the easy option actually can end up being a bad decision and not the easy option after all. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Because yes, sometimes it is. But quite often it's not. So you need to think long and hard, or the other person does. Yeah. Don't take the easy option. That's what this card is warning. Because it's showing that there is relationship difficulties, or there may be a few cracks within this relationship. But don't be so quick to make the decision to throw in the towel just yet. Look at all the options, weigh everything up before any decisions are made. Well, Cancer, that was your reading for September. To be honest with you, it was quite a straightforward reading today. I think either you or your partner or both of you are deciding whether to call time on this relationship or whether to continue. But as I said, we've seen with the Lovers card, don't be so hasty. Think things through. Don't take the easy option. Don't think that the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe there have been some issues and problems that have been weighing either you down or your partner or both of you. But don't be so quick to just, as I said, throw in the towel and walk away. See if things can be worked out. So there we go. That concludes your reading. I don't know if anybody out there is going to make sense of this reading within their own lives. Maybe a small section of the reading may fit with your life. You know, obviously there's lots of Cancerians out there. It cannot match everybody's life. But either way, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't, by all means give me the thumbs down. If you wish to leave a comment, that is great, because I always like to read the comments, and I always make sure that I reply to every single comment that is left. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again in October for your next general and love readings. Bye.